Welcome back to the 2020 Murray Grove GaGA Championship of the World. I'm Mel Scully Allen coming to you live, and you see in the background we have people training for the tournament, getting ready for their competition. Let's review the path to how both Joes got to the finals, okay? Looking at my notes, if we go back to the tournament earlier last week, Safety Joe's path, the first round competition, he competed against Zoe the Viking Flash, who was a new competitor to the sport, a new competitor to the tournament, I should say. She did a great job, but she didn't have enough for Safety Joe in that first round. Then in the quarterfinal, this was a big match. Safety Joe came up against Mahin the Hammer. That was a tough competition, but Safety Joe came through in the finals, the semifinals, I should mean. Safety Joe had a tough competition with Ace Jones. He won, but it went to extra innings. That's how Safety Joe got to the finals. GaGA Giddy Joe, early on, it was somewhat easier. He competed in the first round against Nora, the black belt slammer. Competition was okay. She came at him pretty hard with some kung fu, jiu-jitsu moves, but GaGA Giddy Joe was able to handle her. In the second round, he came across Ilya, the City Slicker champ, the champ from the city. That was somewhat of a unique competition because they play a different style of GaGA in the city. GaGA Giddy Joe had to adjust, and he did, and he finally won. But in the finals, the semifinals, it was a tough competition because he found himself against the tandem of the twins, which was DJ Primetime Jones and Core Power Jones. And I'm gonna bet that if he had a chance, he wouldn't want to have that competition again. That's how they got here to the finals. Now we're gonna step out. I'm gonna send you out to Leslie Storm for an interview with Safety Joe.
Thanks, Mel, and that's right. I'm here with the challenger, Safety Joe. Joe, is it all right if I call you Joe?
Thanks, Leslie. And by the way, I'm a big fan of your station. Your coverage of the cake baking contest a couple years back at Camping in the Grove was outstanding. Didn't you get an Emmy nomination for that? And also, you always cover the Talent No Talent show, which is phenomenal. I'm a big fan.
Thanks, Joe, and that's right. We did get an Emmy nomination for our coverage of the cake baking contest. I remember that night too. The campers, the sugar, no one went to sleep until well after lights out.
Yeah, I remember that night. A lot of sugar that night. I think I didn't get to bed maybe only 4 hours sleep. I think it reminds me of the night we had the flood when no one got sleep. Oh well, it's camp. Who needs sleep anyway?
Joe, you haven't been in the pit recently, and here you are taking on the world-renowned champion. What have you been doing to practice for this event? And are you sure you're not caught out of water?
Yeah, it is kind of odd, and I get it. Most people know me, Safety Joe, as the person that's quick to give you a Band-Aid, make sure everyone's got sunscreen, making sure all the campers are drinking water. I get it, I get the apprehension, but I've been working with GaGA Giddy Joe for a long time. I know how he operates, and I know his weaknesses, and they come tournament time, I'm gonna expose that weakness. I'm gonna take home the Carol Haig Trophy. As for my training, I've been in the kitchen with Chef Evelyn, peeling potatoes, cutting up vegetables, working on my GaGA rest, and I'm out here on the labyrinth doing my special training, which helps with my fancy footwork.
GaGA Giddy Joe is known for his thunderous right-hand ball strike, one that regularly has his opponents leaving the pit, their heads hanging in defeat. Joe, what do you plan on doing to avoid GaGA Giddy Joe's thunder strike?
It'll be tough, no doubt. But besides my training in the labyrinth every day, sprinting here, working on my footwork, remember something. We've been planning camp since February, along with Diem, Carol, Karen, David, and Sonia. We've been planning this camp and how it would come to fruition. Reality is, some of my best footwork has been done since February, and I think with that fancy footwork, that's what's going to help me bring the Carol Haig Trophy home.
Well, Joe, I truly admire your spirit. You're going into this game an underdog, and to be honest, you don't seem scared at all. That takes some guts.
Thanks, Leslie. To me, it's spiritual and whimsical. People think of me about the straight-laced safety guy, but come tournament day in the championship, I'm going to pull upon all my powers. I'm going to beat GaGA Giddy Joe in the pit. I'm going to take home that Carol Haig Trophy. That's a guarantee.
Well, Joe, I wish you the best of luck. And back to you in the studio, Mel.
Great interview, Leslie. Good luck, Safety Joe. Viewers, stay tuned, because we're going to a commercial break. And when we come back, WWMG-TV is going to have an interview with the champ, GaGA Giddy Joe. This is the other ginger ale. This is Potter Spirit ginger ale. Still have any questions about how to best refresh your spirit? Potter Spirit Ginger Ale. It's refreshingly refreshing. Brewed and bottled by Potter Spirit Brewing Company, Good Luck, New Jersey. Family owned and operated since 1770. Welcome back to WWMG TV coverage of this year's championship of GaGA here from Murray Grove, New Jersey. Before the break, we had an interview with Leslie Storm with Safety Joe. Now we're going to go out to an interview with Leslie Storm interviewing GaGA Giddy Joe. Take it away, Leslie.
Joe, this is your 7th title defense, and to be honest, you've had some pretty tough competition over the years. Of course, there was the classic match where you lost against the cool Karen Cubberly, and then your extra innings against the Hardaway brothers. And no one can forget when you won back your title against Max the Rocket and Bryce the Bomber. What makes this match against Safety Joe so different, and how do you stay so confident in running up to this game?
Leslie, you bring up some good memories. Not the cool Karen Cubberly defeat, but all those matches, I had confidence, and I really believe I have confidence going into this match with Safety Joe. I know Safety Joe's been touting all that fancy footwork training. In fact, when I was eating with Lunchman the other day, he talked about his new nickname called Twinkle Toes Joe. But I think my experience is going to be far beyond what he can match in the competitive ring, and that's why I think I have confidence I'm going to take home the Carol Haig Trophy.
Twinkle Toes, that's a good one. But to be honest, some of your fans are concerned with your performance leading up to this event, especially in the quarterfinals and semifinals where you performed against the Tandem Jones duo.
Against the City Slicker, I fell, I slipped, and I knocked the wind out of myself because I couldn't breathe for a moment, and luckily she hit the ball, and as she hit it, I was able to reach up, caught the ball, and the City Slicker was out.
And what about the Jones tandem? You looked lost at times.
Leslie, I have to give due where due is due. Core Power and DJ Primetime, they were swarming all over me. As if I had blinders on. I couldn't see where the ball was coming from. They were hitting the ball hard and fast, and luckily, not all of them were so accurate. What happened one time is Core hit the ball and it hit DJ in the back of the ankle, so he was out. Once DJ Primetime got out of the ring, I was able to focus on Core Power, and eventually I was able to beat her.
As you get ready for this match against Safety Joe, what do you take from that experience with the Jones tandem?
I realized I can't count on luck. I know Safety Joe's been training, I've been training. With all my skill, I believe I could beat them. I'm just really happy that I don't have to face that Jones tandem again. Core Power and DJ Primetime, they're the future of this game here in the pit.
Oh, and now it's back to you, Mel, in the studio.
Thanks, Leslie. That was a great exclusive interview with our champion, GaGA Giddy Joe. Stay tuned this week for more coverage of our championship match from Murray Grove. We got much more action coming in tomorrow. Today's going to end our broadcast. See you tomorrow.